Squeal is proudly sponsored by Jane's Bar at the Dome, and be there next Saturday for the AIDS Awareness Week wrap-up party with Doreen Manganini and Millie Minogue.
Out of me. Welcome to Squeal here on Bent TV, Channel 31, your community station. Let's get right into it. On my left, your right, the wonderful Sally Goldner.
Yay!
Oh, we've got clappers today. Amy Henderson.
Yay!
Christopher Sloane.
Yay!
And Annie Phelan. How are you, darling?
I'm very well, thank
Very
you.
well, yeah.
Well, I'm angry. I've got a little bit of SOL.
SOL.
Shit on the liver. And I'm going to get rid of it. Firstly, can I thank everyone about Hats Off.
Fantastic.
The Oz Showbiz Cares Equity Fights AIDS, which was it was just a phenomenal success.
It was a corker.
Thank you to everyone that came. All the Bent TV watchers, I know a lot of you were there. And it was a huge success, and we raised over $17,000.
Wow.
And that is mainly because of absolutely everyone gave their services free. It was so well organised, and why I have a bit of SOL, there's a little article here in the Melbourne Star that says, "Cracking the fundraiser whip. Sold out," and it was sold out, thank you. "Strictly no complimentary tickets." That is very correct. We are a fundraising body. Once you start giving one away, you've got to give... We don't even give complimentary tickets to dignitaries. If they want to come, they pay. The committee don't get complimentary tickets, but a particular performer was apparently wanting one. "Strictly no photographs backstage." Yes, that is to... what am I saying?
Protect.
Protect, that's the word. You started with a P. Protect the performers, because I can't tell you how many times someone innocently backstage does a funny pose, grabs tit, yeah. Where is it? Women's Day,
exactly.
Whatever. It's like, it's exploitation. And because it is a charity that is very aware of performers' rights, we are very, very strict about that. Turn up for your sound check, do your number, thank you and goodbye. Oh, charming. Do your sound check? Yes, all professionals need to do that. Do your number? Yes, bit stupid otherwise. Thank you, you definitely got thanked, and had you stayed around you would have been thanked even more. And goodbye? No, you could have gone out front. There were seats available for performers to sit out front and watch the act that they weren't in. And there were also a party afterwards at the Dogs Bar we all went round. So those first couple of lines in that article, a bit tacky, and it really put a bit of an edge for some of us. But the rest of the article's great because it was a fantastic night. The other thing, I've got a bit of SOL.
Go for it.
On this past Friday was the launch of AIDS Awareness Week in for Melbourne. Hundreds of volunteers have spent hundreds of hours. We had the fire brigade, this wonderful fire brigade where these studios come out of. There's a truck with a condom on it. Safe fire truck. And And they were fantastic. The fire department arrived with 2 huge trucks. Molly Meldrum, John Thwaites and myself were there to be hoisted up a ladder without a condom, hanging off a thing outside Crown Casino. Now, I mean, you know, you would think,
sight in itself.
you would think that that's a pretty good media event. There wasn't one bloody television station there.
Not one.
I was so angry. And my whole thing about, I say to people, what they say, why do you work for positive women? Why do you work, are you an AIDS activist? I hate prejudice of any sort. And the only way to beat prejudice comes from fear and ignorance. The only way to beat prejudice is to inform people and educate people. And if the media aren't going to help us, how the bloody hell can we do it? So thank you. If Bent TV had been able to, I know they would have been. Over to you, Sally.
Yeah, well,
Sally wants to pick up on this.
yeah, well, we did manage to get there, but unfortunately we only have one mobile camera. So if you wish to help Bent TV give you more coverage, please donate, and we can have a second one, and we can work it out. So please help us out with that
Or
one.
some gaffer tape.
Would it? Yeah, some gaffer tape would go. It wouldn't go
And
straight.
it's for family purposes.
Yes, that's right. Well, I mean, what an awesome thing that would have been if we could have gotten there with a camera yesterday.
But it just made me really angry. I
That's
mean, what's more
amazing,
important, the
mainstream
Grand
media.
Prix? I've taken up the whole thing. Go for it.
Oh, look,
I'll shut up
that's
now.
why. Well, I think what you've had to say is more than what we could say, definitely. Sally?
Yeah, well, following on,
Everyone's going about it.
Yeah.
following on from what Annie said, I was there at the launch of AIDS Awareness Week on Friday, and I think Annie made a great quote following on from what she said, and that is that AIDS doesn't discriminate, and neither should people. So I think we need to keep that one in mind. And also, John Thwaites has informed Bent TV that there will be an outcome early next year of the Ministerial Advisory Committee into HIV/AIDS. So we'll find out some hopefully good advances there to perhaps get the publicity we need. And
Sally took the opportunity to ask the hard questions. Didn't
That's
you,
right.
Sally?
Sally Negus. I won't be. I'm not going to do it for you, Chris. That's an in-joke. Sorry. And the other thing that happened during the week was the Victorian Gay and Lesbian Rights Lobby AGM, and during the week they launched their Everyday Experiments booklet. That should be on their website soon, or contact the VGLRL for details. And the great quote from the wonderful Chris Gill, who's co-convener about systematic and vile discrimination from the Council of Churches. I believe he means the RMIT chaplain and the Catholic Church. But good work done there by the VGLRL, and a great speech also by journalist Steve Dow. So lots of things happening this week.
I'm just going to jump in there. I've forgotten to do something, and I do this every time. Our Auslan interpreter today is Paul Stack.
Oh, Paul.
Let's give him a big warm welcome. Thank you. Sorry, Paul.
You do that, don't you?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's right. Yeah. Well, that and that.
All right, mate. Okay.
Go, Chris.
Me.
Firstly, I'll just staying with the AIDS thing. We have Catherine Clements, who is
McClements.
McClements, which is that one there. I'm sorry, Cameron.
Gorgeous actor.
Amy was originally to do this.
People would know her from Water
Because
Rats.
Yes, from Water Rats,
Fantastic.
and she won an AFI for Best Actress. Anyway, she is
Fantastic
promoting
speech.
Lifeblood. And what is Lifeblood?
Yes,
Paul?
what is Lifeblood,
I'm
Chris?
glad you asked. I've always wanted to say that on television. Anyway, basically, Lifeblood is about you. It's where was it? I was reading
I'm a
it
very
before.
private
I was
person.
reading it.
You're on top of this, huh?
Lifeblood. I was just handed before we
any
went to the show.
excuse.
Anyway, Lifeblood is about you, and it's also about being political. It's about coming out. It's about being HIV positive and HIV negative for that fact. But most importantly, it's about being happy and being healthy. So, how can you find out about Lifeblood? Well, I'll tell you. I'm using up my 3 minutes, so I'm going quick. It is on Friday the 30th of November at the Vic Health Training Room, 1531 Pelham. Is that how you pronounce it? Pelham. Pelham Street, Carlton. Our RSVP, call Chris Clemenston.
yeah, that's lovely, Chris. That's lovely.
The editor of Lifeblood.
Catherine McClements will be there
Yes, or get in contact
with a panel of local luminaries.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and the phone number on that
Vita
is
Luminary.
9865 6700. That number again, 9865 6700. One more minute. One more minute. The Aussies at the moment are playing Uruguay. Now,
You had to get your sport.
well, I had to throw it in. Absolutely terrible what
Bad
we saw there in
sport.
Uruguay as the players got off the plane. 20 people. If that's what 20 people can do, what can 60,000 Paul go?
Yeah.
It was.
That's it. Go Aussies, go Aussies.
I watched that, and
Yeah.
it really looks set up to me.
Yeah, it was
There
pretty.
was something really
It
staged
was a bit, yeah, it was a bit
about
weird, wasn't it?
It was all just too neat.
I think it's very scary.
We're
gotta
going to
go.
the news desk, but I want to tell everyone to go
news
down to the
We've gotta
Star and
go.
support the Drag Kings on Friday nights because it's a
Oh,
really
they're
good
all
show.
jumping
and
in
Sally's
today.
down there.
But don't
and
forget-
Vaughan
we go to the
stuff.
news desk,
And Motherfucker
please.
MC's back. Go to the news desk.
Thank you, Paul. In the B News headlines this week, further developments with lesbian IVF. A lesbian health advocate says the issue of lesbian access to reproductive technology will not go away following this week's controversy, which saw the state government back down after coming under political pressure from key supporters. The Health Minister, John Thwaites, said this week that the state government would not accept changes to the guidelines governing access to medically supervised artificial insemination by donor to allow lesbians to use the technology. More on this later in the show. In other news, King Victoria, Melbourne's organised Drag Kings, will celebrate its 50th show at the Star Hotel on Friday, December the 7th. And in the awards, Joy Melbourne, Melbourne's gay and lesbian community radio station, has won the most innovative marketing or promotional achievement award by the Community Broadcasting Association of Australia at its 2001 conference in Hobart this week. In addition, Channel 31 won awards for its subscription-a-thon plus for its training program. And the Orso Foundation needs a home. Orso and several other gay and lesbian community organisations are being evicted from their offices in Cato Street, Paran, and will need to find new premises by next February. Back to you, Paul.
Thanks, Bill. I saw this little tidbit here. The reason most condoms fail is because users put them on inside out.
Ah.
There you go. That's
Yes.
something really interesting to think about. We talk about education and all that sort of
Yeah,
down to
yeah.
the most basic thing of
Yeah, it
which
is.
way it goes
That's
in,
how my
in
sister
the
was
right way.
conceived, apparently.
Oh, really?
An inside out
I just thought I'd share that with you.
And talking on other things as well, there's a stick-on pill on the way as well for all those people.
Yeah. I was a pill
that
baby.
need it. Were you?
Yeah, my
I
brother
just-
was an IUD baby
Yeah.
and my sister was a condom baby.
It doesn't promote
What do you
safe,
stick the pill
doesn't
on?
promote safe sex though, does it? Yeah, over there, that's the safest you can be, I think. All right, we are out of here for this
Are we?
segment.
That
Yeah,
went
strange
quick.
enough, it did go quick.
Flies.
When we come back, Deanna Blegg and our friend Sonia Ristov are going to join us.
From Positive Women, we're going
Come.
to talk about this wonderful book called Blood Ties.
Come back soon. This is Bent TV.
I only live for satisfying you. No other man can do the things you do. Ooh, baby, to my body. I have always been the type of girl who tries to get to know a man for his mind. Ooh, baby, it's your body.
When I'm driving in my car and that man comes on the radio, he's telling me more and more about some useless information supposed to fire my imagination. I can't get no. I know. Hey, 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 hey. This is what I say, yeah. I can't get no
And welcome back to Squeal. Thank you very much, Sally. Starting the clapping going. It's like, and then they all start on. And today, we're very lucky to have Sonia Ristov and Deanna Blegg coming in. Make them very welcome, please. Now, both of you are members of Positive Women, correct?
That's right,
Yeah?
yes.
All right. But what we've wanted to talk about, first of all, is this fantastic book that I've got here. I don't know if we can get a close-up on the Blood Ties. Who wants to
There it
start
is.
off with that?
Okay, Blood Ties is a book written
Yes.
of the stories of 5 positive women. And Deanna is one of the positive women who has contributed to the book.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So this is something that you've wanted to do for a long time, is to get your story down, to share it with other people. Do you see that as...
Well, how did it come about?
Yeah, how did it come about that you did it? Yeah,
The
totally.
book started as a research project for the editor, Sally Trathen,
Mm-hmm.
and she just wanted to hear women's voices, hear the voices of HIV positive women. They tend to be a bit forgotten in the AIDS epidemic. And from that, the women, we didn't know each other, who else was writing the story. And over a period of time, Sally suggested maybe that the stories were so good and so interesting that maybe we should start getting them down on paper and writing a book. So we next met. The next step, I guess, was meeting all the writers and discussing the plausibility of writing a book, and that's how it started.
Okay. So did you meet the other girls before it was published, or did you read the stories first and then get to meet them? No, you met them all while you were doing it?
We decided that we'd all be keen to meet each other and hear each other's stories as well. And also it helps when you're writing to bounce off each other and see how each other's handling the writing.
When you met each other and the group came together, was that how did that feel when you basically found that there was a situation and everyone's different and every case is different?
Yes.
Was that like really open your eyes and think, well, hey, totally different changes and totally different ways of basically looking at the whole thing? I've just totally lost what I was going to say. No, basically what I'm saying is when you all came together, did you learn off each other's experiences and different stories and stuff like that?
Absolutely. We all did know each other, but we didn't know we knew each other until we met.
Yeah.
And it was good, like we knew each other, but we didn't know each other's stories, so it was good to actually hear the voices of the women,
I think
read their stories.
that's one of the most powerful things, is the diversity of the stories, and just that these women were willing to put their stories down. I mean, that in itself is a
That in
powerful
itself,
tool.
Was it really hard for you
Storytelling.
to do that? To put your story in words without feeling, a little bit,
Not too much
reflective or, yeah.
I had a very powerful incentive. I've got a little girl, she's 3.5 years old,
What's her name?
Tia Ray.
Hi, Tia.
And that was my incentive. I wanted her to know her mother in case it may be a time that she doesn't reach an age where she understands a lot about me. This was my incentive so that she knows who I am, what my life was about.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah, so it was
that
very-
is brilliant, isn't
Yeah.
it? That is fantastic.
And was the book for you your coming out of your HIV status?
It was a part of it, I guess a step further. I had come out to most of my family and friends, and it was just that one step further, more public. Now I'm very obviously very open.
Is this your first major public, apart from the launch? I was at the launch of the book where all 5 women, of course, were there. Have you done any other promotional work for it?
Not for the book. I have been on television before,
Right.
regarding HIV and pregnancy, and that was a bit of a cop out for myself because at that stage a lot of my friends and family didn't know that I was HIV positive, and
So you were positive while you were pregnant?
yes,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What about your daughter?
she's HIV negative, and beautiful.
Okay, so that doesn't necessarily follow that your child will be.
No,
No?
you can follow a certain protocol, take medication through the pregnancy, have a cesarean, not breastfeed, and it minimises the chances.
Because their blood is quite amazing, baby's blood, isn't it? And,
Yes.
and the core, that's the umbilical cords that they keep and freeze, because the blood and the cells in there can do some amazing things, and hopefully there'll be an answer in those little cords too one day for all of the things that are going on. So.
I wanted to ask, given the lack of awareness of HIV generally, and particularly for women, how did you feel when you found out you were HIV positive? I mean, what was it? What was the feeling?
I guess utter shock. I went for a test with a suspicion, but I always had that feeling, no, it can't possibly happen to me. So basically huge shock, and the thoughts that went through my mind immediately were, what am I going to tell my mum and dad? And I'm never going to be able to have a child. So
Which would be, and I think that would be obviously a major difference from a point of view of, say, positive women perhaps, say, possibly, than gay men. Is that a fair call?
sure, it's HIV gives you enough problems, but being a woman, it seems to, well, for me, it felt like it had taken my right to have a child away from me. which I later found and studied, and that was not the case, but that was my immediate thought.
I think that's something that we forget, and I think this book is perfect for, God forbid, up and coming people who are getting. Who are becoming positive, especially women. That book will help so much.
But also, not only that, I mean, you don't have to know a thing about HIV. It is the most wonderful book, and it is sad, and it is funny, and it is so tender, and you are moved. And in fact, we're using letters from the book for our positive steps, which maybe we'll come back and talk about
we will.
after the news break.
We'll come back after the news. That's Blood Ties. The great thing about this is that it's available from all mainstream bookstores, so it is readily available to all the public, which is wonderful.
Is there a price?
$25.
Normal, yeah.
$24.95.
Beautiful Christmas present. Now that's
a Christmas
get
present.
a dozen of those and your Christmas presents are done.
Absolutely.
Can I ask a question? Have you got any royalties yet? From the book?
They're on their way.
Okay.
It's in the mail.
They're in the mail, yeah.
You'll get a $24.99.
Seriously, do go and have a look and get it, because
Oh,
I
it's
think it would be
fantastic. Yeah.
Okay, let's go to the news desk with Bill Calder.
Thanks, Paul. In the B News Forum this week, we look further at the issue of lesbian access to IVF services, an issue that has taken some bizarre twists in the last few weeks. Firstly, the Victorian Infertility Treatment Authority proposed a rule change that would allow access to IVF for women who were psychologically infertile, a strange concept in itself. But that loophole was rapidly stomped on this week by the state government. The questions raised are, should lesbians bother with officialdom or just go back to the old chicken baster method? Others argue it's a matter of principle and equality, and others say there are too many kids in the world already. Over to the Squealers for their thoughts.
Oh, you've done it to us again, Bill. No one was concentrating then.
No, I was. I've done my bit. I have not had any children.
No.
So I've done my bit for the world population.
And I tend to follow, personally, that there are so many children out there that aren't loved that I think that if it, I think.
Yes, I know. But
Although I
adoption
agree,
from-
I know that we could do a whole 45-minute show.
And
on
I
this
don't
topic.
think as a bloke sitting there you should even go down that track.
What annoys me.
Sonia, we need to talk about positive
I'd love to
steps.
have
We don't want to talk
children.
about babies.
I'd love to have children. Let's talk about positive steps.
Positive steps. It's an action by positive women for December the 1st. And what we're asking is, what we're trying to do is to get 1,000 women on the steps of Parliament House. There's approximately 1,000 HIV positive women within Australia, and we want it to be a symbolic representation of all the positive women. So that's 10:30 at Parliament House. Now we've taken the theme again, as I said, positive steps, which is, you can't really see it on that one, that's our condom pack. But we've got a bunch of things you can buy this year.
These are very
you
cute.
can't quite see
Well,
them.
if Kylie can do it, I think
Hey.
everyone else can do it as well. What does it say
I
on there,
care.
Sal?
I care.
Do you? And by the time you get to this
Talk about your
point,
Christmas present. You should care by that point, yeah,
That's-
definitely.
we're also selling our badges, which have been made by a group in South Africa. And so the money will be going back to supporting the Positive Women's Group in Africa. The money from the underpants, the knicker money, is going to a Positive Women's Group in India. So we're acting local, thinking global.
Fantastic.
We've also got more, the
Wait,
Positive
there's more.
Steps, the CD.
And can I interrupt? It is just magnificent. And Jane Bailey from Crying in Public Places has written specifically a number for positive women called Secret World. Life.
Secret Life.
Beg your pardon, Secret Life. It is one of the most beautiful songs.
And that Secret Life, Jane came out with that after reading Blood Ties.
After reading Blood Ties.
So the book Blood
Wow,
Ties
it
is
all
linked
sits.
to the CD, and the whole concept that we as positive women are taking positive steps with our lives.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And also on that, it's about linking together too,
Yeah,
isn't it?
absolutely.
And sharing each
Linking
other's stories as
together
well.
and-
And that's the great
And
thing about it.
empowering women. We want to. I want to see the day when a young sexually active girl of 12, 13, 14, whatever, can turn up on a date with condoms and not be labelled a slut. And that's still, I couldn't believe that's what happened when I was a teenager. A guy turns up, he's a start.
Oh, yeah.
A young girl turns up, she's asking for it. All that
You should always check the guy's wallet though, because they'll always have that ring
Little
mark on
indentation.
there.
Never.
It's been there for
Bean
2
in there,
years.
and check the date on the
But
condom
you should
as well.
never ever keep them in your wallet, because your wallet goes in your back pocket where your bum is, and there's a lot of heat on your bum. Because
Right,
you can
we're
get
talking
off
about broken condoms. That could be
Yeah.
another one.
I'm not going to mention the glove box.
There
then,
we
but-
go. But you can buy the CDs up for
Yeah,
sale.
and
yeah.
also on
They
that
were
CD is Christina Green, who's a
Oh.
great local artist from Northcote.
Beautiful, yes.
Really good. So
and
it's well
Gladys
worth it.
Gladys Kanye.
Well worth
Kenya.
buying.
So she
She's
was
a
a
Kenyan
South
singer.
She's a Kenyan singer,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
When she was in Kenya, she worked as an HIV activist, and so these are two songs that they used to sing. So if you can join us at 10:30 on December the 1st, Parliament House, you'll be joining Annie Phelan, Maggie Kirkpatrick, Carla Bonner from Neighbours, Joy Murphy, who's a Wurundjeri tribe elder, and Crying in Public Places will also be performing. So get there. It's going to be a great.
Fantastic.
It'll only be about an hour.
Yep.
Bring a picnic and carry
Yeah,
on into the park.
picnic
and have a
afterwards.
picnic.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to the news desk now. No,
No,
that's
no,
it.
break.
Sorry,
Yeah,
we've done
yeah.
the news desk. We're out of here.
We're outta here.
Ladies, thank you very much for coming in
Yeah.
today.
And if anyone's got
Diana.
any
And
inquiries,
thanks for your courage.
Yeah, any
I know you're
inquiries.
going to cut us off.
I'll do it in the next segment.
All right.
We'll get it in the next segment.
Yeah.
Come back. Please.
Me your color, baby. Color me your car. Color me your color, darling. I know who you are. Come above your color chart. I know where you're coming from. Call me online. Call me anytime. Call me. Get it up, get it up, get it up, let's go. Let's look at the show. We're riding in a wonderland of snow. Get it up, get it up, get it up, it's grand. Just holding your hand. We're gliding along with the song of a wintry fairyland. Our cheeks are nice and rosy and comfy cozy, are we? We're snuggled up together like two birds of a feather would be.
Welcome back. Welcome back here to Squeal. And no, that was not Destiny's Child's Christmas album, but it almost sounded as bad. That's right. It was, I don't know who, but, and Christmas show? No, it's not either, but there was Method in the Madness. Coming up very shortly on Bent TV in a couple of weeks is
Bitchin'
Kitchen Christmas special, which I had the pleasure of filming with Stephen the other night, and yeah, something to watch out for. So I think, have we got a date for that yet? 2 weeks' time, so keep an eye out for that. Now, David Green has come in today to talk about Heavenly Creatures. Make him welcome, please.
Yeah.
Thank you, fans. Thank you. Hi, David. How are you?
How are you?
Very well, thank you. And we're into Heavenly Creature 2. Mark 2. It's the second one you've done now?
Well, we've done a fundraiser in the past.
Yeah?
This is,
Did you have Heavenly Creature last year, or was that a
it was
different
actually
thing?
Circus Creature.
Circus Creature
Yeah,
last
which
year.
was
That's right.
sort of big.
Which had the big
bold,
poster that everyone, all the lesbians went
Yes.
mental over.
Yes.
Remember?
Yes, I do remember. Thanks, Paul. It was great.
So let's talk about Heavenly Creature.
Well, Heavenly Creatures, an event that's going to be. It's called a Night of Stars, which means
You're going to get punched in the face on the door.
basically
Play any secret, no.
we're going to see lots of stars. But it's about basically bringing the community together as an occasion to mark a celebration of life, and that's the prime sort of directive.
Excellent.
And we're actually having this fundraiser as an event for the David Williams Fund.
Okay, cool.
What,
So that's what you're raising, all the money will go there?
All the proceeds go to David Williams Fund. Yeah.
Okay.
and what sort of things will be going on? Juggling, karaoke? No, something more serious, we hope.
Well, actually, there's we don't want to give too much away now,
Little
But,
hint, please.
but there's two shows. We're actually launching Opal Ross,
Fantastic.
who you probably spoke
Yes,
to
I
on the
know.
once
Opal
before.
and anyone that was at the B News party last
That's
week
right.
would have seen
Yeah,
Opal
which
singing
was
there
fabulous,
fantastically.
actually.
Yeah, great
Now,
night.
just a question on Opal.
Sure.
Is he signed to a label yet, or?
I think he's in talks was the
He's
word
in
that he was
talks,
having
yes.
the other day.
Oh,
I think
So,
this is a coup to get him signed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so-
We're going to have him signed by the end of that night.
So, and if anyone doesn't know who Opal was, who he is, he was in Rent a couple
that's
of
right.
years
That's
back.
right.
Played that drumsticker, bang, bang, bang. It was fantastic in that. So,
And he's won awards for that too. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
he's very, very good.
amazing. All right, let's talk about where.
It'll be at Heat
Yep.
at the casino,
Heat
level
nightclub.
3. and basically the doors will be open at 9 o'clock. And we've got a VIP cocktail party as well, so
Ooh, how
it'll
do
be
you
the
get into that?
schmoozy sponsors and contributors and friends and family coming together to have a little bit of fun before it just goes off. Yes.
Totally off. And we've got Jenny Bannister, Shag, RMIT, lots of
Thomas
Lucretia
the Funk
Desard, yes, the guy, and also Thomas the Funk Engine, the DJs for the night. 29th of November, it's Thursday night, Night of Stars at the Heat Nightclub.
And
And it's all connected with World AIDS Awareness Week, isn't it? It's sort of
It's
all
right
to
in the
do-
middle
yeah.
of the
Yeah.
week.
It's a big week, isn't it?
It's
It's a
just to
huge
sort
week
of,
coming up.
it's just to celebrate all the projects that are going on, and sort of in one night, and just make it a bit more sort of celebrity, bit of Hollywood, bit of glitz, bit of glamour.
Bit of glamour, we all need a bit of glamour.
We
in
don't
our
need
lives.
Hollywood, we've got Melbourne.
That's right, well, yeah.
Stop trying to be a mini
So,
Hollywood.
in the Hollywood sign.
Create our own
Exactly.
Exactly.
Bless you, Amy.
The theme for the night obviously is Heavenly Creatures. So, and you encourage people to dress up and have a good time, yeah?
It's not a costume event,
No,
but
but it's a
personal
wear your
style.
best rags.
you
event,
can
isn't it?
just come in exactly what you feel is
all
necessary.
those pop star wannabes out there.
I think that's what's all
dress
about,
up for the night. Yeah, it's
Well, I'm
like-
actually crocheting my bikini.
I might be seen wearing those
Band-Aid
knickers.
strips that
And nothing else. I might be seen wearing those knickers. Where are they? Yes, here we are.
Yes, Amy seemed to get the knickers left
Oh.
behind for her somehow.
You'd never see them on me. They disappear into the fold.
That's the message we're all getting across.
I'll be
as
modelling
part of
these
this event as
later.
It's really great that so many different events are taking the different tacks on it all. We think about the people that are no longer with us. We think about the people that are with us now. We think about the people in the future and how we can make it a better place for them as well.
And we
So
think about women.
definitely our women. We are starting
Actually,
to
while we're
more
thinking
think
about
our
women
It's great.
and saying that women are not recognised and positive women, they find it hard. Lesbians seem not to exist even more, apparently, so no one talks about this safe sex. Dams and gloves, we've talked about it on the show before. I mean, sure, we're not in a high-risk category for AIDS, but there are many other things you can catch from girls.
Yeah.
Nasty.
Many other things, and I got told off for scaring everyone last time with all the disgusting, horrible things you can catch, like herpes.
And you didn't give anyone a demonstration either. I think that's what they were most upset about.
Well, I think the best category to be in is no risk, and I think
Yeah.
things like Heavenly Creature, all the positive women launches, they will help do that in the remaining 5 or 6 days. Is what I'm trying to say.
And you did it. You got it out.
We are going to go to
Enforce the message.
Absolutely.
Reinforce it, confirm it.
Yeah.
That's it.
We're
Lesbians
going to go to the
too.
news desk now, and then we'll be back in a minute.
In the B News notice board this week, we look at upcoming World AIDS Week activities. Heavenly Creature is at Heat Nightclub this Thursday 9 p.m. On Saturday at 10:30 a.m. on the steps of Parliament House, and Phelan will speak at a rally called Positive Steps. At 11:30 there will be a commemorative event in the Memorial Garden at Fairfield House, the former Fairfield Hospital. At 5 p.m. there will be an HIV/AIDS memorial service at St Paul's Anglican Cathedral. On Saturday night, there will be a red ribbon wrap-up party at the Dome. And on Sunday, the Metropolitan Community Church of Melbourne will be having their annual World AIDS Day at Night worship service. Appearing on your screen now are the bent contact details, if you have anything to let us know here. To mail information through, the address, which I shall read while we wait for it to appear on the screen, is PO Box 1414, Collingwood 3066, phone number 9419 4745, which has actually been corrected to 0404 114 346. And there is also email and website address there as well. Back to you, Paul.
Thanks, Bill, and thank you for a great night the other night too, Bill. It was much appreciated. And congratulations on your first birthday.
I love you. It was a streak after I got to the car. And he's fully dressed. How disappointing.
All right, now I'm gonna totally ignore that like it didn't happen. Ticket outlets, please. Let's quickly run through those. You can get them at Creature Management,
VAC,
Heat,
Hares and Hyenas,
the Creature Desard,
the Also
and
Foundation.
also at the
all
Also
over town.
Foundation. Are they on the door of the night as well?
Yes,
Tickets?
they are.
Yes.
Yeah, turn up on the
Excellent.
night with your money.
Annie?
Yeah, I just want to sum up my little bit by saying don't forget positive steps for positive women on the steps of Parliament House, World AIDS Day, Saturday the 1st of December. That's this coming Saturday. And also Chris's mum, Liz, he dropped a hint before. He wants you to buy blood ties for him for Christmas, please.
Fantastic.
And part of the positive steps ceremony, event, it's a nice sort of ceremony, I think. It's going to be a very female ceremony. We didn't want it to be about celebrities and politicians and all of that.
No.
We want
Real
the
people.
women's words. And Carla Bonner from Neighbours and myself are actually going to be reading 2 letters that are in Karen's story in the book. So if I can get through one of them without crying, I'm trying. So don't forget, we want 1,000 women on the steps of Parliament House, but the blokes, please come too.
Totally.
And blokes in frocks,
Absolutely,
come too.
we need to support
everyone.
And that's what it's all about. It's about everyone across the board, straight, gay, whatever you want to call yourselves. It's about you, and it's about getting
Breaking
together.
down the barriers.
Breaking down the barriers. I just want to quickly get in. You remember a couple of weeks ago we had Shay come in and do a lovely acoustic set for us. She is have a performance on this Wednesday, 8:30 at the Yak Bar in Hoddle Street.
She's actually launching her CD too, so get along and
We
buy a
said we were
copy
gonna
of
talk
her
about
CD
that. So Wednesday
for
night.
$15
Oh, cool. We can get
at
down
the
there
Yak
after
Bar
the meeting.
on Hoddle Street.
And I just had another little quick one. The VGLRL have announced they're very close to getting a $50,000 grant from the Department of Justice to educate people on the new law reforms for gays and lesbians.
Excellent.
And given
Fantastic.
all the negative things we seem to be hearing with IVF, it's good to see that there's a positive step going.
Unreal. All right, David, thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you for
And
having me.
It's a pleasure, as always. We look forward to Heavenly Creatures on the 29th. Annie, as always.
Thank you,
so
Dave.
much
Thank
for
you all.
coming
If anyone's
today.
in Ballarat on Wednesday night,
Yes?
pop along to the Uniting Church. I'm there doing a thing for where they feed Uniting Care to feed the homeless in Ballarat.
Ballarat on
Wednesday night.
All right, and Paul on down there in the little corner of the box, our Auslan interpreter today. Thank you very much. Thank you, Deanna and Sonia as well. And that is up. They're doing this to us. Stay tuned for more Bent TV here on Channel 31.
Oh, and we have a sound problem?
Oh, we do. There's awful audio.
Or there's no audio?
It's terrible.
Squeal is proudly sponsored by Jane's Bar at the Dome, and be there next Saturday for AIDS Awareness Week wrap-up party with Doreen Manganini and Millie Minogue. Love your work, Janie.